What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So this is the Google Pixel 5a. I've had it for nearly 1 year now, and I want to share with you guys my thoughts, my experience of using this device, the goods, the bads, really everything about the Pixel 5a. But before I do dive right in, I want to quickly talk about the wallpaper that you see right here on the Pixel 5a. This is my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Drip. I'll be leaving a link of my wallpaper pack in the comments in the description down below as well. And if you want to check it out and support the channel, it would really mean a lot. And also a huge shout out to Ghost right here. They make some awesome flavored energy drinks. So without further delay, let's dive right in. So starting off with design, I really like this. I really do. It's a unibody aluminum build with a plastic coating, and it's not the most premium or high-end flagship, build or design, but it's still clean and minimal nonetheless, and it doesn't, attract any fingerprints here, which I like. But this design, it doesn't scream unique or anything like that. And in fact, it has the same kind of build of the Pixel 5, the Pixel 4, and the Pixel 4a. Especially with its camera cutout right here. And I'll be talking about camera in a little bit. The physical fingerprint sensor is the last of its kind. Pixel 6a doesn't have that anymore as well. Obviously, Pixel 6 and 6 Pro also got rid of that. They have an in-display fingerprint sensor. So if you're looking for a physical one, this is probably one of the last, devices. Obviously, there may be a couple more. But as for Pixel, this is the last in their lineup that has a physical fingerprint sensor. Oh, and for those, the headphone jack is still here, and sometimes, it does come in clutch. So thank you, Google, for holding on to the headphone jack, at least on the Pixel 5a. Now, this rugged light green color power button, it's a small design quirk that Google paid attention to with the 5a. Obviously, 6 and 6 Pro doesn't have that, unfortunately. That's a huge bummer. But during my time of using this device, I've really come to like this color power button. And also the speakers of this does get pretty loud when consuming media, when watching videos and whatnot. And that's going to bring me to this display. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to display on the 5a, but I don't really mind that because it doesn't have a 90 hertz display and this and that, but that's okay. That's okay if it doesn't have a 90 hertz display. It has a 6.34-inch OLED display, super clean, 60 hertz. The colors, watching and consuming content is super fun. Even playing some, light games on this is really good. It's not the most premium display out there. Like, it's not 120 hertz AMOLED, this and that, or Quad HD resolution, but it's still good. And overall, like, if you're looking for a design that's just minimal, doesn't scream unique, or doesn't, stick out like a sore thumb, I think Pixel 5a is the way to go. And that brings me to software. So software on the Pixel 5a. I'm actually running the Android 13 beta, but this originally did ship with Android 11. It got updated to Android 12, and now it's running Android 13 beta. So I'm thinking we're going to be getting Android 14 on the Pixel 5a, and that's going to be it because it officially will have gotten by that time 3 major Android software updates: Android 12, 13, which is this year for 2022, and Android 14. And in my use of using the beta as of recently, like the past 2 months maybe, no issues whatsoever. It's actually been very stable. But we still have that whole One UI, or not One UI, that's for Samsung, the Material U that came from Android 12. There's a little bit of improvements, but nonetheless, it has, given new life to Pixel devices. It's brought a whole new look and feel to this. Now, if you use the Pixel device from before, you know what's up. You know how a Pixel device does work. And this is Google's way of showcasing what they intend Android to look like. And I really do like it. I wish more Android devices and Android OEMs would take note and just offer like their stock or like the Pixel Android look and feel, and instead of adding their own custom UI. And just, I want to keep everything plain and simple and minimal, and I really do like this with Pixel devices. However, that brings me to the question, with its less powerful chipset, how well will Android 14 run on? the Pixel 5a in 3 years? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Time will tell. But I'm still happy that with Pixel devices, you get the update. You get the Android update on day one. Whereas, other devices, although, Samsung has been really good with their updates, you still have to wait a little bit because of, pending things and carriers and whatnot. But not with Google devices, not with the Pixel. So software for me was a plus when using the Pixel 5a. I've had no hiccups or issues whatsoever. So if software, if you're looking for minimalistic software, Pixel 5a is definitely a contender. Now it's time to talk about camera, and it's a Pixel. So we know it's going to have good camera quality, and I'll just be putting up cameras, photo samples. And for me, I'm not a smartphone camera guy, and I think for those who are subscribed already know that by now, but I know that if I do need to take photos or videos, it's going to hold up really well, especially for photos. And this device performs really well. I think it performs better than most $449 devices in its category. Google has nailed computational photography, and now that they ditched just a telephoto, so their dual setup is a wide and ultra wide. That's my personal preference. I like it much better than a telephoto, so good job. And the Pixel 5a, I think it proves to be more real life photos, and it maintains good saturation too. And I also tend to prefer sharper photos, and the Pixel 5a also does that really well. For videos, obviously, it's not like iPhone quality. It's not the greatest, but it's still going to get the job done. But if you're looking for a device at this price range for $449, really good camera quality, and you're going to make some content, whether it's video related or photo related, Reels, YouTube, whatever it is, sharing photos on Twitter, Pixel 5a is a huge plus. So there you have it with camera. Pixel 5a and battery life. Now, with the 4a, its predecessor, so 2 years ago when it came out in 2020, that had a really good battery life. This is even better. And the Pixel 4a had a smaller battery life. This has a bigger one. This has a large 4,680 milliamp hour battery life. It performs like a champ. I typically start the day 7 to 8 a.m. and around 10 p.m. this still has about 30 to 40% of battery life, and that's with heavy use. What I mean by heavy use for me, consistently watching YouTube videos, always, consistently calling and texting, and also, slightly here and there playing Call of Duty, but mainly using the screen to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. So for me, it's really been great. No issues whatsoever. And I felt comfortable using this because I didn't need to worry about charging the phone. And if I did, I know that I have, chargers throughout me, whether it's in the car or at work or at home, whatever it may be. And I'm always on my phone. I'm frequently on it. The 5a was able to withstand everything. Everything I do within a day, and even 1 year later, it still performs like a champ. Now get this, if you're a light user, well, it's going to last you even longer. Light user, like you call here and there, you text here and there, you might take a look at a couple emails, watch maybe 1 or 2 videos. Like you're not a heavy user. This device is not always in your hand. But for me, I use a phone, it's always in my hand. So it's good to know that this lasts me with heavy usage. The Snapdragon 765, it's not a power-hungry processor, so it doesn't need to push as much power. So no high refresh rate, there's no high resolution, no high-end processor, and it has a large battery. So the long battery life is a huge plus. I think probably one of the best parts, at least for me in my use. And even 1 year later, still performs like a champ, and it's probably still one of the main reasons why I would personally recommend you picking up the Pixel 5a. Now let's come to price, $449, and this is like the mid-range smartphone market. So now we have devices like the Samsung Galaxy A53 in 2022. Google is releasing the Pixel 6a, and if you watch this after the 6a is released, it's the successor to the 5a in this price range as well. But this $449 retail price, you can obviously find it cheaper now online. 128 gigs of storage, 60 gigs of RAM, one configuration, one size, and one color. And this is essentially a cheaper Pixel 4a 5G with more of those features added. It doesn't have wireless charging. It doesn't have 90 hertz, and if it did have those, it would probably increase in price. And I'm fine with it for this price, and that it doesn't include those features. This slightly larger display from its predecessor, the Pixel 4a 5G, that's perfectly fine, and it has a much larger battery too than its predecessor. And like I said, you can find deals on the Pixel 5a 1 year later. I'll be leaving links in the description down below of the Pixel 5a if you want to take a look. But even if you pick it up for its retail price of $449, you won't have any issue. The Pixel 6a is incoming, and even if you're watching this video after it has come out, maybe you might not like that design. Maybe you want a physical fingerprint sensor. Maybe you want a headphone jack. If you do, then Pixel 5a is the device you're going to choose over the Pixel 6a. It really does come down to preference, but I still think this is a great device in 2022. All right, so in 2022, 1 year later, is this device worth it? If you ask me, yes, especially for its mid-range category. Knowing that it has a successor, the 6a, I still think this device is still worth it because, like I said earlier, some may want a physical fingerprint sensor and a headphone jack and a Pixel, and those are features you're not going to be getting in Pixel 6a. Now, is this device for everybody? Probably not. Technically, if you think about it, technically, this device, everyone can use it, but obviously many people won't. There's iMessage on iPhones and this and that. There's this whole ecosystem craze that's going on. Whatever it is, not everyone's going to be using a Pixel 5a, but technically we all can. But I think this device is fine. For $449, you're getting a great camera, really good battery life 1 year later too, a good battery display. I think the most important part of a phone is the display, to have a pretty good display, and this does not disappoint. You also have that too. And these types of devices really question our purchases. Do we really need a $1,300 device, or do we really want one? I think the answer is we want one more than we do need one. We don't need those expensive devices. These ones get the job done. They don't have the latest and greatest. They don't have the futuristic features or those extra features. But in essence, we don't need those futuristic and extra features. We want those features, which is not a bad thing. But for those, who pay attention to price, and it's a main factor for them picking up a smartphone, then obviously you're going to choose this over those more expensive devices. I know many people who rock last year's Pixel 4a, and those who are going towards picking up the Pixel 5a even in 2022. And because of this category in this A series, I know people who are already looking forward to the Pixel 6a because they're bringing a flagship kind of experience in a mid-range budget. I guess you consider compared to its a higher end like $900 to $1,000 device. This is budget compared to that. But it's bringing really good displays, really good performance, battery life, camera quality in a more affordable package. So Pixel 5a 1 year later, I still think it's a really good device. But that's been it from me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to superman that like button, comment down below. Best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. That's been it from me. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.